Shalina Diva, the purpose driven diva. How are you doing today? How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? I am so excited to bring you this Facebook Live because I'm actually going to talk to you about a subject and a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. So get your notepads, get your pens, get your pencils, because I'm going to take y'all to school, okay? I'm going to take you to Shalina Diva School. Oh my goodness, I'm just so excited. Can't you tell? All right, you guys. So those of you who are just hopping on this Facebook Live, my name is Shalina Diva, the purpose-driven diva, and I am a life and business coach who loves to show you how to discover, invest, value, and appreciate your life and business. So in this Facebook Live, I'm talking about your friends. I think TLC said it best. You know, they're like, what about your friends? Will they be around? Will they something? Y'all know what I'm trying to say, right? I never know the words to songs, but y'all know what I'm talking about. That song is like, what about your friends? Now, I could take it back to the 80s, and I think it's like a rap song or something like that about friends, but I'm going to just keep it at TLC because I'm not going to date myself. But this Facebook Live is all about your friends. And a young lady who follows me and she watches my videos, she watched some videos and then she inboxed me with a question. She said, Shalina Diva, how do you handle relationships with friends when, you know, you two are growing apart? Like, very publicly, I have shared my experience with my son's father. I don't hate him. I don't believe he hates me. You know, it's just an example of two people who once loved each other and we grew apart. Now, people don't realize this, but the same thing can happen in friendships. And friendships, it is relationships, and you two can grow apart. You know, maybe you all started out together, but then, you know, you two somehow just start drifting apart. And in this Facebook Live, I'm going to talk about some of those things that can cause you and your friends, that, you know, your ace boom coon, your day ones, you know what I mean, that can cause you guys to drift. It happens in relationships as people grow. So I actually wrote the book on this. I did. I wrote a book. And the book is called Fire Your Friends, A Woman's Guide to Becoming Her Own Best Friend. So once again, it's called Fire Your Friends. Now hear me out. This book is actually not so much about you firing your friends, and actually firing your friends is actually a last resort. I'm going to walk you through the process that I created to help you to really manage those relationships, because this book is really about how you manage those friendships and like those family relationships that you have in your life, because most women don't realize you can manage these, okay? Just because you've been besties with someone since the first grade or the second grade, as you grow older and you grow apart, it doesn't mean that you have to continue that relationship in that manner, because there are levels and there are degrees to friendships and relationships. So I'm going to dive in, and I'm really going to share some experiences with you. I had an experience recently and it was heartbreaking. I was very close to a young lady, and we were very close, and this person was very up close and personal in my struggle. Those of you who don't know, when I left a 6-year relationship that had become toxic, I was homeless for 2 years. So this friend, and I still consider her a friend, she was very close to me. She was there for me. I was there for her. We did things for each other, you know, to really help each other that, you know, the normal associate wouldn't necessarily do to help. But that was my friend. We would dream together. We would share our goals together. We would push each other. We would do things that people only talked about. We would actually do it. If she found a great book, because we both love to read, she would put me onto it. If I found a book, I would put her onto it. If she found a resource, she would put me onto it. I would put her onto it. If she found an opportunity where we both could earn money, she would put me onto it, and I would put her onto it. Now, we started to drift apart in my eyes, when I started really digging into my purpose and walking it out. Like, I moved beyond my fears, and I really started doing the things that I was always dreaming about. Like, things I said I would do, I stopped talking about them and I started being about them. And to me, as soon as I just put one foot in front of the other and I really just went after what I said I would do, we started drifting apart. She had things going on in her life. And for me, it's like my head was finally above the water. I wasn't going back and forth to child support. I wasn't going back and forth to custody. I could really focus on my business. And my business went from 0 to 30,000 in less than 3 weeks, like 3 weeks, so less than a month. So I went from 0 to 30,000 real quick, right? So, and with that being said, like, my time became allocated. So I had to start spending time, working my this new business and really getting it to the level. And so we really drifted apart. And that really hurt because that was, I'm telling you, that was my ride or die. That was my day one. That's the one that I shared my secrets with. That's the one that I told her about my dreams and she told me about hers. Like, I took that seriously. And so, the way that we like drifted apart, it really hurt. So when this young lady today reached out to me, I could really relate to her. And I said, you know what? I'm going to talk about that today on Facebook because I know that her and I are not the only ones who have dealt with this. And in fact, I'm going to walk you through. I'm actually going to take a chapter from my book, Fire Your Friends. You can find it on Amazon, actually in Barnes and Nobles, wherever books are sold. It's called Fire Your Friends, A Woman's Guide to Becoming Her Own Best Friend. This is actually a bestseller too. So here's one thing I want you to realize, that with friends, you have to put friends and family into categories. This takes maturity because we throw the term around best friend, right? Well, you can actually have more than one best friend. And for example, there are people who say, oh, my biz bestie, right? That's usually a person that you can talk to about business and your dreams and your goals, and they get it. Like if you tell your friend, guess what? Last month in Shopify, I earned over I generated over $90,000 in sales. To a friend, to a business bestie who is into that, they know the industry, they're going to be elated. They're going to be so happy, like, girl, do it, right? But maybe to your family or friends who aren't interested in business, they're not going to really see the big deal. They're not really going to get it, right? But your biz bestie, she is going to be all over it. Now, let's take the same person. Maybe you want to confide in another friend about some deep, dark secret, or maybe something that you're struggling with. Now, the biz bestie is your best friend in terms of being able to share business tips and ideas and strategies, but she wouldn't necessarily be the one you want to tell your deep, darkest secret to. And that's okay. Leave the biz bestie in that category. Now, for the one that you can tell your deep, dark secrets to, that's your confidant. Now, you may not be able to share your Shopify news with your confidant and she be excited, but you can tell her, like, listen, I'm doubting myself. I don't know why I'm feeling this way. I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm crying. You can confide in that best friend. That's your confidant. And you keep her in that category. Then everybody seems to. I know I have a friend that's like my ride or die. Actually, it's like my family. They're like my ride or die, and it's like if somebody messes with me, if somebody picks with me, if I'm afraid, I can go to them. They're gonna talk me out of whatever I'm going through. They will fight you. They will cut you if you try to mess with me. Those are those type of friends and relationships, and believe me, you need those. Truth be told, you kind of need those. Like, you need those who have your back like that. Like the kind of friends, like, you need to be bailed out of jail. They're gonna come bail you out. People make the joke, they make the joke, the kind of friend where you can say, yo, help me bury the body, and they ask no questions. They just say, okay, when I gotta meet you. Now, I ain't that kind of friend. I'm not helping you bury nobody. I'm not helping you bury anything. Don't tell me about it because I don't want to know. I am not that kind of friend. So now I might bail you out of jail, but I'm not burying nobody. So don't put me in that category, okay? So don't none of y'all be calling me up like, Diva, help me bury the body. I'm going to be like, sorry, wrong number. Hang up on you, because the less I know, the better for this relationship. You know what I'm saying? So let's, then you have other categories where you ever just have some people that are just so positive and, they believe in you more than you believe in yourself, and you can just really just share those crazy, big, goofy dreams that they seem and they believe in you. You have those kind of friends that you can share those kind of dreams with. So just remember, you have to start putting people into categories and feeling comfortable and being mature enough to know that, listen, everybody, let me tell you, if you can find someone who can fit into all those categories perfectly, more power to you, my sister. More power to you, my brother. But that's not really realistic, and you shouldn't expect that from people because you wouldn't want someone putting that on you. So first and foremost, people have different reasons and different seasons in your life, okay? And it's different categories. And also, too, you just have to find out where people fit for you. All right, so let's just be clear on that. Different seasons and different reasons, and sometimes you guys growth is a good thing, and if you grow apart, that's not always a bad thing, but you have to manage that. And what I've come to realize as I mature is that some of the relationships that have like fallen to the wayside or there have been bitterness, I look back and say, you know what, I could have handled that better. Now, we're not going to be like besties or ace boon coons, but I could have handled that so much better, especially if you're building a business. Like, no man or no woman is an island. You need people. Okay, so let's get to the book here, and I'm going to give you an example of how I show you how to break down how do you manage. And when I say manage, it means like how do you navigate, how do you deal with different friendships. So let's take Kim. The way that I have divided this book up, it's 5 sections, and it's not chapters. They're actually girlfriends that live within you. They're actually parts of your personality that you need to develop. So Kim is the second girlfriend in the book, the second piece, part of your personality that needs to be developed. And Kim is an acronym that stands for Keep It Moving. So this is Kim. Kim is assertive, business savvy. She's a go-getter, driven, ultra confident, bold, resourceful, decisive. She's a hustler, shot caller, fighter, mover, and a shaker. Think of someone in your life who's like that, right? That's your Kim. That is your Kim. And one of Kim's favorite quotes is, "I'm doing me. I don't have time for the drama." You ever meet, and you know, in a lot of ways, I have developed into a Kim, y'all. Because as my partners that I'm working with on a workshop we're having on Saturday, I'm about my business. I have no time for drama. I have no time for foolishness. I have a one-track mind, and it is get it done. I am a workhorse. So yeah, I'm like, Kim, go diva. I'm growing, right? So here's the thing about Kim. Kim actually shows up in your life once you finally start believing in yourself. You get on that path and you start taking action. For example, you decided, you know what, for years I just had this GED. I actually want to go to school. You move past the shame or the fear, what people think, and you get so serious and you buckle down with school. That's Kim showing up in your life. Me deciding to do a live business workshop and really rock it. That's Kim showing up in my life. You deciding that you want to buy a house. You want to move out of an apartment and buy a house. So you start getting your credit straight. You start saving your money. That's Kim showing up in your life, okay? You deciding that, you know what, ladies, I'm tired of sleeping around. I'm tired of messing around. I'm tired of being dogged around. And I'm actually going to give the next guy that I believe in who shows up in my life, I'm going to give him a chance. I'm not going to hold him responsible for what Raymond. I love that name, Raymond. You're not going to hold Davey, that's the new guy. You're not going to hold Davey responsible for what Raymond did. That's Kim showing up in your life. Like, okay, let's keep it moving. Kim is about her business. And here's the thing. When you become about your business, and my Christians out there, my religious folks, when you become about your Father's business, you become laser focused, folks start falling away out of your life. Yes, they start falling away out of your life because you no longer do the things you used to do. Your time is now precious. You allocate your time. Like me, I'm on a schedule. If you're not on my schedule, then you're not going to be worked into my day. I schedule things now. So if you tell me, Shalina, I want to talk to you, I'm going to send you a scheduler because I respect your time. I want you to respect mine, and I want to put you on my calendar. That's a sign of respect. Some people get offended by that, but I don't know why, because my time is precious. That's my most valuable asset. So when you get on your job and you start doing what you're doing, it's like, oh, she thinks she better. She trying to get her credit straight. She don't want to go out to the club. She's saving money. She thinks she better. Or it's like, all you do is go to school, work. You don't have no time for us anymore. Let me tell you something. The people in your life who understand the path that you're on, they get it. They're going to give you space. They're going to be supportive. They're going to be like, you know what? Shalina is actually trying to get that new house. So she needs to save her money so she can't be turned up in the clubs. She just can't go out to dinner every 5 seconds. She's trying to save money. I respect that. That's the kind of friend you want in your life. Now, those other people who have something to say, the more you stay on this path, guess what's going to happen? They're going to eliminate themselves out of your life because they're going to think you think you're better than them, and you might have a falling out, or you just may have the courage to stop spending time with them. But let me show you how to manage that, because this is your friend, right? This is your day one. This is your ace spoon coon. This is your friend from kindergarten. How do you manage that? It's not that easy. So I give you some suggestions in the book. It's actually at the back of the chapter. And I actually help you to rate your friends. And I tell you to rate them upon the following criteria, right? You rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. So when it comes to Kim, like that area of your life you're trying to improve, does this person encourage development of business and career plans? On a scale from 1 to 10, do they? Then, do they encourage you to network? On a scale from 1 to 10, do they do that? Because you need to network when when you're making moves. You need to stop being shy and network, and do different things. Do they help you find business opportunities, or do they help you find scholarships, or do they tell you about, hey, I found out about this program about new home buyers, and I think you'll be interested, and that's the kind of friend you want. Like, they're not looking for a house, but because you said you're looking for one, they're now on the lookout for that, any information that can help you. Okay. And then, does your friend celebrate your success? Let me tell y'all something. That right there is telling. My little sister, she told me this quote. She said, beware of those who what is it? They whisper your success, but they shout at your failures. It's something like, they shout at your failures, but they whisper your success. You better pay attention to that, because a true friend is going to be happy for you. They're going to bless you. They're going to be happy for you. And I say this, anything that you see somebody doing that you want to do, bless that person. You see somebody earning, making money, bless that person. Because when you do it, you're actually blessing yourself. Reverend Ike, I love me some Reverend Ike. He was like, whenever you see a rich person, don't curse them. He's like, because you'll never be one of us. T. Harv Eker says, when you see someone who's doing well, bless that person. It's actually like this Hawaiian thing where it's like, bless what you want to see show up in your life. So if you see me turning up, bless me, celebrate me, because guess what? We're going to be celebrating you. So do these people celebrate you? Do they encourage you to network? Do they provide you with resources? Do they encourage you to really just dig in whatever you're doing? Rate them from 1 to 10, right? And here's how you're going to manage them, right? So if your friend, after you did 1 through 4, if they score a total of 4 points, you need to hand them a pink slip and they're fired. And here's why. That person has probably become toxic, and you can't expect them to truly be supportive in any other area of your life. And that happened to me in my relationship. Like, the relationship had become toxic, and I'm sorry, but if a person has become toxic in one area, they're usually going to become toxic in a few other areas. And here's the thing. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. It just means that right now in your life, they don't fit into this scene. That's all that means, right? But you want to hand that toxic person a pink slip. When I was in my relationship, it had become so toxic. My hair, the crown of my head started falling out. I was bald. That's why I started creating YouTube videos and had a following, because I was really sharing what was going on in my life. My body had become toxic, and I gave that relationship a pink slip, right? Now, let's just say the friend, they score between 5 to 8 points once you tally them up. Here's what I say to this. You need to cut that friend's hours. Yes, cut their hours, because this person needs to be monitored closely and placed on probation status. Here's why. He or she could develop into a 3 caliber friend over time after observing your progress and success. However, you can't wait for this to happen, because it may never happen. So you don't give them a pink slip, but you cut back your hours. And what does cutting back their hours means? In the meantime, you cut back the amount of time you spend with this person. You limit the phone conversations and the house visits, right? You stop sharing details of your future plans as well if he or she isn't supportive. And then you can still be friendly towards him or her, but don't overdo it. Stop trying to force yourself on people who clearly aren't interested in you, invested in your future the way you are. And you should note that many times family members and very close friends fall into the cut their hours category. So totally toxic people between a 1 and a 4, give them a pink slip. Get them out of your life, because they're toxic and they're no good for you, right? For your life right now. And for this scene, not, doesn't mean they're a bad person. We're making judgments about them, but for you, they're not good. 5 to an 8, cut back your hours. Stop telling them all your business. Stop sharing your success with them. Stop calling them. Stop texting. Stop tweeting. Stop Snapchat and all that stuff, right? Let's move up to the third category. The third category is 12 to 16 points, right? And so if your friend scores between a 12 to 16, you need to seriously consider promoting him or her. Yes, I'm going to tell you, I'm guilty of this. Um, and these are really quality people, but a lot of times in our lives, we do not spend enough time with quality people. And these are the people that show their appreciation for you. They really support you. They come to your events. They buy your coaching. They support you, right? They always have a kind and good word. Human nature, we tend to kind of push those people off to the side. We want to spend time with toxic people, and we want to spend time with people who we need to cut their hours. But I really want you to take inventory and look at those people differently, and I want you to start giving them more FaceTime. I want you to schedule lunch with them. Buy them a card, show them some type of appreciation. Like, I had a friend in high school, and he's the one who nicknamed me Shalene the Diva. He says, every time I see you, I see a diva. I see a superstar, right? And this was in high school, and he was like, Shalene the Diva, that's what I'm going to call you. And that's where it came from. And later on, I turned diva into an acronym. But this person always believed in me. His parents always believed in me, and I wouldn't spend time with him. But looking back, I'm like, that's the kind of person I should have been spending time with. The people who build you up, people who make you feel good about yourself. Spend time with those people. Stop spending your time with toxic people, right? So we want to promote them. We want to start spending more time with them because we cut the hours of the folks who don't need you, need to be around you. And then lastly, who do you need to hire? And this category is interesting because it could be a coach, it could be a mentor. And when I say hire, it doesn't mean you're necessarily paying. Now, you may pay for a coach, but what I mean hire is that think of yourself as like you are a corporation. You are the CEO of your life, right? You hire people. You know, you are the chairwoman or the chairman of your board, and you hire people. So you might need to hire some people. And these people that need to be hired, you don't necessarily have a relationship with them, but they're doing what you want to do. You like what you see. You need to start forming relationships with them. And the reason why I like to say hire them is because if you think of hiring, it's like you're the boss, right? Even though there's no money exchange, like you're the boss, because a lot of times, if you're not careful, you can become intimidated by someone who's very successful. We can become intimidated, and I don't want to approach them. They don't want to talk to me. But if you look at it like, I'm going to hire this person, right? You really kind of put yourself on the same footing. And a lot of times, it's like when you admire people, if you're not careful, it can turn into hateration. Admiration can turn into hateration. But when you're mature and you realize that this person is no better than me, I'm no better than them, and you learn how to network, and you know how to come correct, and you realize that you serve and you give before you ask, you can really build some awesome relationships using LinkedIn, using Facebook properly. You can really build some amazing relationships with people who are not in your immediate circle, and that's truly a sign of maturity. So this is the book. Fire Your Friends, A Woman's Guide to Becoming Her Own Best Friend. There are 5 different types of friends, 5 different types of areas of your life that I really show you, like I just walked you through. I show you how to evaluate people in your inner circle, because that's how you're going to fire friends. That's how you're going to hire them. That's how you're going to fire them. But most importantly, what this book does is it helps you to become a better friend to yourself. It shows you how to love on yourself. It shows you how to appreciate yourself. It shows you how wonderful you are. And you can't develop these better relationships if you think poorly of yourself. And so this book is twofold. One is to show you how to become your own best friend, show you how to love on yourself. Because when you love on yourself and you begin radiating that, you're going to attract those higher level of friends and those kind of people, and you're going to repel those lower level, low energy, energy sucking people. That's the law. That's what happens. So the book shows you how to love on you first, then it shows you how to manage the relationships you currently have, and then how to cultivate those relationships that's going to take you to that next level in any area of your life. So you guys, this is Shalene Diva, the Purpose Driven Diva. I hope that this Facebook Live has been beneficial. I will drop the link to my book so you can purchase a copy. I would love that. It's called Fire Your Friends, A Woman's Guide to Becoming Her Own Best Friends. You can find this book on Amazon, in Barnes and Nobles, wherever books are sold. You can find this book, and I would love for you to read it. It's the kind of book, many people, they tell me, like, they buy the book and like they start reading it and then they might put it down and then they come back to it however whatever time later, and it's so funny because they're like, I didn't get the book at first, but I get it now. And this book, it really helps them, and like they're ready for it. So it is that kind of book. It's not the kind of book where I'm telling you all my business. That might be a next book, right? But it's the kind of book that helps you to dig into who you are and then evaluate people. So I really hope that you have enjoyed this Facebook Live. I really do. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section. I will drop a link to this book. I would love for you to support me. So you guys, this is Shalina Diva, the Purpose Driven Diva, and I will see you on the other side. Remember, everything has beauty, including you. It just takes a true diva to see it. Be blessed.